afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. We're off here to a 1 vs 1 on Arnhem Checkpoint. In the south, it is Deathcore fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the Panzer Division with German infantry, featuring the 250-1 half-tech veteran squad leaders, stormtroopers, assault and hold, and fragmentation bombs with triple infantry. Thus north it is HelpingHans, fighting for America, freedom, democracy, the American dream. Taking on the role here of the 3rd Armored Division with urban assault, recon support, and heavy cavalry with triple infantry. So we're off here to an exciting, spectacular match, I am sure. And as always, please remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And press the bell button if you do subscribe. That make me quite pleased to support me like that. Or, of course, you can join the heroic and spectacular ranks of my Patreon supporters to keep doing their part to keep me going. By clicking on Patreon itself, you can just donate. But anyways, big thanks to the Patreon supporters, as always. On the west side here, Hans advancing through the centre west, east, south. We got here Death coming up, Grenadiers and the Pioneers. Grenadiers looks like everything west was there. And before to grab the centre point here, watching from the parking lot there, beside the church. Rifleman kicking in the door there to the restaurant. Checking out the menu and moving on because they realise they can't read French. Pioneers moving east was there. I mean, goddamn. Le Burger, what's that? Rifling up there, carve point going to be threatened here, so any one of the challenges of Arnhem Checkpoint, that is, the carve points are rather exposed, particularly the east one here, where the opponent can effectively just hit it and just set up in heavy cavalry, give it difficult area for a player to deal with. Might be why Deathcore's focusing more westwards and not putting a lot of effort into it here, we'll have to see. We got more riflemen there for HelpingHans, and as you might notice again, he's cut the point off. And base is now moving into heavy cavalry, so it's becoming much harder here for Deathcore just easily push him off. West side, he's continuing to push there for the Hans's carve point, looking to return the favour. Grenadiers backing up. Second Grenadiers cornering in there for Deathcore, seizing the eastern fuel point, barbed wire and sandbags in place. I imagine Hans will be taking up soon. Triple rifle into fast tech tends to be typical builds, and some players will actually going to go for 2 rifle squads and then tech, though. I would say that's pretty ambitious and a lot more aggressive. But there you go. Deathcore meanwhile going for triple Grenadiers, MG42 standard Wehrmacht build. Might even go for 4 Grenadiers here to support the German infantry build. Some players do like that, others not so much. Going for the carp on there, Grenadiers Pioneers now. 2 squads versus 1. Hans is forced to fall back, but even then he has hurt Deathcore's fuel in the start. Then again, Deathcore's doing the same here to Hans, so I suppose good turn there. More Grenadiers almost down there for Deathcore for Deutschland. Hans is taking up, and it is the Lieutenant, very much as expected. The most commonly chosen, command post there in 1v1s. 2 vs 2, it's actually the company command post. That's a lot more typically chosen and popular due to the nature of the maps there. But 1v1 maps, you typically want the platoon command post because 50 cals tend to play a much larger role, and of course the light vehicles tend to be a lot more useful. Rushing for the church here, Hans' rifle falls back here as Deathcore strikes back for the fatherland. Rifle falling back, Grenadiers moving from the north there. Shots being fired out in the open. Eastern field being harassed here though by Hans, keeping up a good field. Well, eye on the field here. So even as Deathcore's getting control of the centre, he's losing control to the fuel point. Though again, he is hitting Hans's fuel, so again, it's not going to be that crucial there right away. Deathcore taking up. You could probably consider on a map like this, which I would say is rather wide and spacious, to maybe consider going for a 250 half-tech here to put pressure on Hans. And he's worried about light vehicles. It could give him some extra field control versus Hans, allow him to hunt down units that sort of say out harassing on the far sides. That said, I think down the road he should also consider laying down S-mines here to protect that against harassment. But still, good strong side here for Deathcore. Good use of the grenades then before 2, though Hans obviously is no slouch either. And it's definitely not making it easy for Deathcore to make the gains he wants to. So tech done there. Reason's thinking about in the far west. Grabbing the western fuel point there. Shots fired there. Lieutenant sending out. We're probably seeing a mechanized command post here soon for Hans. They may just go for the 50 cals first. Eastern fuel seized. A lot of action here, a lot of momentum. Like to make a nice come up there for Deathcore, so no 250-1 half-track there. Flanking around the machine in the south. Good work there by Hans. I would say also a bit less of a great serve there by Deathcore on the MG42 than against it. Oh, close one there, but in the end has to retreat the MG42. Even has a chance of getting the machine gun, which would be pretty painful for Deathcore in the early game, but he does avoid that fate. West side, he's almost got the fuel point that he's sneaking about. Hans almost has the eastern fuel point connected, at which point we're going to see one of the rare, shall we say, setups in map control where, like, the northern player has the eastern fuel point, the southern player has the western fuel point. That's a bit of a rare one, but over here you can see Hans is controlling the carve point for the western fuel point, which is going to make things pretty awkward here for Deathcore. He has to like to make a nice caliber, yet we can go for something from it. As for Hans, we do get the 50 caliber on the way there. Grenadiers with the re-echelons. So a lot of back and forth here, a lot of harassment, a lot of action and counter-action. Grenadiers sitting at the bunker. Pioneers MB42 moving ahead here. Need to get that carve point back fast, but even then he's being hit on the other carve points as well, making it much harder for him to reconnect the fuel there. So Hans here striking back with almost surgical precision here against Deathcore. Thumbs up to that. Some great infantry play there. Going for the other carve point there. Machine gun pioneers moving up here. Got the bunker up. Medics on the way there. Probably going to go for the 2-2 to put pressure on Hans. In fact, he may even go for a flamethrower half-take here instead of the 2-2 to put pressure on Hans' infantry in a more serious manner. But he can't go for the light vehicle now. He has the fuel, he has the manpower. He just needs the will, the determination to press the button. And we do get the 2-2, so probably going to be veteran Grenadiers much faster here for Deathcore. They of course need to remember to actually get the upgrade going, unless he's planning flamethrowers and the Pioneers. Also possibility there for Deathcore. Grenadiers with the Lieutenant on the west side. And Grenadiers routed fully from the west, now it's going back to the east here. A lot of back and forth here. The map has actually changed like sides in terms of like control a lot here, just in the first 6 minutes. So, you know, really aggressive players here and also active players. 2-2 almost done. Going for the eastern field point over the Grenadiers. So good. And looks like it was in fact, I think, upgrading the Pioneers here with a Flammenwerfer. 2-2 out. Yup, Flammenwerfer to burn Hans' men out of the buildings there. So we got the armor car machine catch the 2-2 there, who has no bazooka there. Needs to stay clear, of course, the church in the air around it with the 50 caliber, since the 2-2 is going to have a terrible time of it. But looks like Hans is making another push here for the carve point, this time with the 50 caliber, making it even harder for Deathcore then to get the carve point back here. Hans just keeping aggression, momentum, which is always is crucial, in particular as the Americans. You want the initiative, you want to control the flow of the battle here. Machine guns up to defend the carve point, probably expecting Hans to go for that. Armored car holding back, he doesn't know if the 50 caliber is there or not. If he gets the armored car close to that, that could get pinged for their front. Machine gun there repositioning again, just as Hans moves in the carve point there. Poor timing there by Deathcore, and Hans of course punishes this splendidly. Even as like, you know, incidentally it's great to explode this. Needs to flank them with the Grenadiers, clear that out. 50 caliber removing, got the 2-2 moving in. Bypasses there the 50 caliber machine gun. Armor piercing rounds up as well. The Grenadiers with the re-echelons. Need to get troops into support them before setting up again. A lot of back and forth action. He could consider calling in the Stormtrooper squad here to assist. That would actually think be a good addition here for Deathcore. Once they got the MP40 ready. Close losing the 50 caliber there. We got, well, not the 50 caliber, the 2-2 to the 50 caliber. Stuart Light Tank flying it for Helping Hands. Deathcore in a pretty tight spot here versus Hans. There we go. We do get Panzer Grenadiers. Not a bad pick either, but I do think he should actually call in Stormtroopers just to like harass the 50 caliber. Add some pressure, plus the MP40s are good. And certainly tactical advances is not an ability I think this should be overlooked. Back hit reinforcing healing. Going for veteran squadrons, holding up the Grenadiers on the west side before retreating. A lot of maneuvering here, and Hans is just displaying some excellent map control here. Hitting the sandbags there with some barbed wire. They need to be careful doesn't get stuck on it. That'd be a bit awkward. Stuart Light Tank almost down there for Helping Hands, and Deathcore has no anti-tank weapons at the moment, so he's going to need a pack 40 in response to the Stuart, which means Hans is going to get further advantage out of that one. Machine gun routed here. 50 of course, incredibly powerful. Yeah, they got stuck. Of course, they can quickly cut themselves out of it. Armored car almost fixed. Grenadiers moving westwards there. Got one veteran Grenadiers. We also got the Panzer Grenadier out here for Deathcore for Deutschland. Stood out there. Back here, reinforcing healing. Got BA out there for Hans. Hans just further adding to the momentum he currently has. He's just looking to snowball the match harder and harder, which is typically how the Americans do it. They just snowball. You know, getting free units out when they attack. Bars and all that, they just quickly just add so much momentum versus the opponents. That's clearly what Hans is just looking to further do here versus Deathcore. You just make it as hard as possible for Deathcore to stabilize versus Helping Hands. Can actually catch the 50 caliber off guard, but he's still up as the Stuart Light Tank. He does get the carve point back. He needs the fuel point. West side, a bit of pressure there from the Grenadiers. Pack 40 away there, troops being up here in the center. Still managed to push back. Hans there as well. A forceful push for Deathcore that does succeed in causing Hans to at least back off a bit here. Lieutenant a bit of trouble, quickly pushed out. Armored car needs to be very, very careful. Understood they can still get in some hits here and there that might just chip some health off there. Won't be enough to take out the Stuart, but may just cause Hans to be slightly less aggressive. Meanwhile, going for the Western improvement again. A good play with Deathcore. Again, needs to heal the pressure. Need to slow down Hans from snowballing much further. Otherwise, again, it can get very painful there for Deathcore very fast. More reinforcement healing here for Helping Hands near his ambulance. Pioneers reinforcing, got the Pack 40 out there, the Panzer Abwehrkanone 40. Grenadiers using the eastern field point. Grenadiers sitting out there, adding the veteran squadrons to them as well. Jolly good. Not sehr good. Grenadiers on the west side will have to retreat, I think, very soon. We got rifles moving up, then of course setting themselves up in the most approximate retreat path here, meaning if he retreats too slowly, the riflemen will absolutely tear the Grenadiers apart. And even then, there's a good chance, like a good deal of the Grenadiers will die out. But in this case, it looks like Hans decides that's not worth the bother and just goes straight for the fuel. Thumbs up there. Stuart light tank rushing eastwards. Back here, armored car good to go. Pack 40 as well. Deathcore is still plenty of time away from any armor due to just the comprehensive and aggressive fuel harassment here from HelpingHans, though. At the same time, due to Deathcore being pretty much on the board with that as well, Hans' advantage is not quite as good as it otherwise could be, which is really great for Deathcore. MG42 on the way there. For Deathcore to help further contain Hans' infantry, basically focuses on the troops that slowing those down and making it harder for Hans to say gain more control of the field to east with that. Gunnies in the eastern chop, got the Pack 40 moving up. Armed car heading westwards, going for the curve point there, again just both sides, aggressively harassing, aggressively looking to control the fuel flow. Because those who control the fuel controls the universe. Wait, no. Or maybe it actually is like that. Pack 40 holding up here. Gun is holding up here by the western fuel point, ready to defend that. Ralph Squad here. Moving in to link up another squad, ruling the panzers here by the curve point. Armored cars trying support. Gun is right here by the flanking Ralph Squad. He needs more machine guns here. The machine gun is ready, but it's not being hauled to the front line here by Deathcore. Hans Starway has yet to choose a doctrine here versus Deathcore, and the Panther is now going to get wiped out here. Weak coverage in the retreat path here, allowing HelpingHans to quickly move up there with all his men and just hose the Panther. Is stinging blow here to Deathcore. Not really a juncture where you can easily afford losing a Panther squad. I mean, generally you can't, but you know, it definitely hurts, I think, even more here for Deathcore on the current state of affairs. East side here, Gun is going for the victory point there. Stuart light tank takes some hits there, but nothing crucial. More Grenadier here for Deathcore. No more Panther Grenadiers, at least not for now. 5th Cavalry dealing with the Grenadiers on the east side. Is at least trying to make some gains there. Hans can to begin taking up here. Pull ahead for that. Almost got the Stuart here with a Pack 40, but Hans is already pulling the Stuart back, so that's less of an issue there. Machine holding up against the Lieutenant there, very good. That gets reinforcing healing. He can soon begin taking up. You can't like do anything with it right away. Having it ready, I wouldn't necessarily think be a bad idea there for Deathcore. Machine gun versus machine gun here. 50 cal versus the MG42. If we can get in some more support there, the 50 cal should be able to push off. Meanwhile, Hans came up just good pressure. 50 cal coming on the west side here, making it harder for Deathcore to move up on the fuel point. Thumbs up there to Hans. Growing more points. Needs to be getting more for HelpingHans, realizing he needs something to flash out Deathcore here from the centre now, just right into the support. He goes for the mortar. That's a really great idea that Hans got in, reading on the situation. Thumbs up to that. And there you go, more trap. I mean, we've got the tech there going on as well. Deathcore is not taking even though it's a tech. I mean, it's still going to take him forever to get out some armour, though he could maybe at least be able to rush out a Stuke here to counter whatever Hans is going for, though. It is worth noting we are 30 minutes into the game and Hans has yet to use Doctrine. Making it a bit hard to figure out, but I would increase and say it's likely not recon support, even like, I mean, open assault could still be a possibility, but I think it's increased looking like heavy cavalry, since players that go for this tend to be like the ones that want to go for like heavy tanks. Going to use the rifle in the centre. We'll have to see that, of course, he tries to stall for it, though, which would definitely, I think, be less than optimal. There you go. Hans is mortar opening up here in the machine gun. Lieutenant up the flank as well there. Thumbs up. Up here, Grenadiers holding up the line here with some support from other units. The other units supporting it are suspiciously a bit distant. Don't worry, we got you covered from over here. And there's another Pack 40 for Deathcore. He's obviously aware that he's likely to be hit by some armor soon, or at least he's going to be likely hit by tanks before he gets out tanks himself. And so bring out another Pack 40, in particular on a larger map like Arnhem Checkpoint, it's probably not an entirely bad idea. As long as he doesn't have the motor HelpingHans, in which case they're a very bad idea. There's the Lieutenant. I'm dealing with the echelons in theory. Pack 40 moving up, so we got the hip cover, another Pack 40, catching the bad spot, even popping the armor piercing rounds. But there you go, Grenadiers flanking in the 5th cavalry turn the tables out on the HelpingHans. Grenadiers right from the centre, almost wiped out there. No one sending the armor piercing round from them before 2. Bit of an oversight, I would say, by Deathcore in my opinion. Not a big one, but nonetheless a bit of an oversight. Punishment with Flammefer. Could take out the 5th cavalry, that'd be a bit of painful loss for the Hans. He does get it, but now the big question is, can he actually get his hands on it? Because Hans and there's plenty of units nearby that's definitely going to make a grab on that 50 cal, but rather painful. Armor coming up, troops moving in as well. Might be able to like just push Hans sufficiently back that he can actually nab the 50 caliber. Deathcore still not taking up. Hans can actually soon get going for Shams. Great from the Pack 40 on this Stuart light tank. Rather than make the move forward, he's holding the Pioneers back, so he can basically pop them in right in front of them and just get some hits. Then maybe get some extra kills. Maybe not white there. If he tries to get the 50 cal, there you go. Rather routed. More troops moving in. So neither side can really get that 50 cal, but essentially both of them really want the 50 cal because it's really good. Pack 40's holding back here. Maybe almost taking up more, firing down close to the Pack 40s. West side, we get a movement here. He's probably going to try and go for a deep flank, avoid the machine gun in the building, and go for the point directly. Pioneers popping in again. Rifle moving up. Direct hit on the Grenadier escort. Almost taking out the unit. Machine flying coming on the flanks, but he may have to fall back entirely. The Grenadiers are not looking great. Neither are the Pioneers, but there you go. Does force retreat in the end. We've got more troops moving in. The problem is Deathcore's nothing nearby that can actually grab the 50 caliber. Most of his troops are back here, base or occupied with other things. Like counting squirrels, I suppose. There we go, gets the 50 caliber back, but in the end, only after severe casualties and much bleeding. I'm sure it'll make for a great heroic, Hollywood movie at some point in 2023. The 50 cal. Starring The Rock. Anyways, machine gun there, need to fall back I think here soon. On the west side we got Grenadiers here versus the 50 cal there. In the center Grenadiers with the rifle squad, more Grenadiers supporting there. Mortar fire there. Half 8 to 52 there. Sherman for helping hands, and Deathcore of course has 2 Pack 40s. He's not entirely toasty, he's taken up as well, very good. He'll probably go for Panther Force though, Pairs 2 I think would do a lot here for Deathcore long term. Rifle flanking the Grenadiers, because he's put them 2 also flying back here. Big push there by help. A small push, and actually I think big would be a bit of an exaggeration to put it mildly, not straight up line. Whereas you see, there's the MD4 to the MD4 in a pretty risky spot here. Major Corp bites. Sherman, Stuart taking some hits from Pack 40. Major pinned down. I believe before he could actually call in any. Though he does call in the artillery just in time here. Both Deathcore realise this and retreat the machine in time to take the risk of losing the MD42 and his experience. 7 high cost. Deathcore is now getting control of the centre, but there you go. Machine gun somehow avoiding all the artillery. We've got a 50 caliber behind the retreat path. Sherman out for helping Hans and the 3rd Armoured. Adding the 50 caliber machine gun on top. Troops reinforcing healing. Also worth noting, typically the machine gun was actually mounted on that little hook on the back of the turret, I believe. More likely, not just frontally mounted. At least in later Shermans. Little fun note there. So people could just roll on the tank, you need to do it from there, using the turret as cover. 50 caliber armor piercing around, see armor card running around there. When you keep up going, they can actually deal with it. 50 caliber there somewhat. But he's doing it on his own, of course the score gets too close to the anti-tank rifle grenade, that's going to be the end of the armored car. East side here, Hans making good progress there, basically again punishing Deathcore, not moving too much in the centre. Thumbs up there to Hans. Still no doctrine of helping Hans, still no doctrine. Deathcore though can soon build the Suprema Core. Got the mortar down to half health, not bad at all, quite respectable. We're turning up the eastern side, what is he planning with that? Is it a mix from helping Hans? Got a wipe somewhere, guess it was the 50 caliber that got wiped out there. Comes down just one. Just flying back here. I think that might have misclicked considering how quickly retreated there. So a small win there for Deathcore. Suprema Core yet to be built. Definitely think should be priority when you get the Pioneers retreating back. So great there for Deathcore. Easily going to use his rifle squad there. Close to the car put another push for there. Hans once more looking to turn off the fuel tap for his opponent. Armored car heavily damaged and need repairs, but definitely the priority should be the Suprema Core and getting out some panzers versus Hans. Before Hans starts sending in a lot of tanks. Fragmentation bomb also available here now for Deathcore. Pack 40 by on the west, can't deal with the Sherman in the east by the car one there. Gonna need some trouble. Got the western victory point. We got 274 versus 369. We got the Pack 40s pretty aggressively, exposing them to fire here from the building, though that's only a major, so probably not a major threat to the Pack 40s. Ha ha ha. Car one then being seized once more. We got the MD42 nearby. Within seeing up, he's going to do a lot of damage. Sherman moving up. He needs the Pack 40s over there, but he's still insisting keeping the west side there. While also insisting on defending the eastern car one then. Feels a bit, perhaps Deathcore might be feeling overstretched here. This is helping Hans. freedom fatigue, who knows? Got on the way of HelpingHans. Not another Sherman here. Not a bad choice though, but I would have figured at least one more Sherman before that. Gives Deathcore a more chance to do something with his tanks, because Hans, otherwise, really only has a pair of bazookas to back up the Sherman, meaning a Panzer IV with the Pack 40 might actually be able to get the upper hand here versus HelpingHans. That's it. Eastern Carve Point lost again along with Eastern Fuel. Fragmentation bomb. Okay, on the building here. And completely wipes out the housing block there. Taking up one of infantry squads under Hans's command. Definitely a nice little tactical win there for Deathcore. Quite veteran, plus of course the bar, so quite a resource they effectively lost there for HelpingHans, though. He's still in the defensive, he's still not holding most of the map. But he is going for a tank then, it is halfway done. Johnny's looking up here. And we finally got a Doctor from HelpingHans. It is very much in the end as expected. Heavy cavalry, in this case using actually calling the Ranger squad to replace the infantry losses, since the Thompson Rangers are quite potent. Plus of course you get combined arms, Pershing heavy tanks, off match smoke barrage, and of course rifleman defensive structures. That said, while the doctrine is solid, it has very much fallen behind mechanage, which is just, you know, the doctrine offers so much more. Yep, Hans here, clearly more of a veteran player there, sticking to what he knows works. Fox on the fire from the Sherman. Panzer IV is finally get faced by here for Deathcore and Deutschland. Close of 1 in the Sherman. Pack 4's been used as well to come in the centre. Westwards there, we get a push by Deathcore once more. Push for Deutschland. Armour covers the rifle squad. Panzer moving at the eastern side here. Swiftly breaking through, well, non-existent lines here. We've got the bazooka team fixing up the Sherman. Could actually get whacked here with a good luck shot. The Negro trend favour then the Sherman. Takes no damage itself. Moving towards the centre, where Hans's position is definitely not prepared for a Panzer IV. Westside, he's still counter-attacking the Pioneers, forcing them to retreat. Colonies also falling back, around the risk losing the squad there. Thumbs up to Deathcore. Good, swift decision-making there. Moving eastwards, moving centrewards, looking to reclaim and restore lost territory. Good here on the effective caliber. Armour coming up. Okay, nothing going on there. Needs to consider bringing in some more armour soon. Osmond or Stu could be a good addition. Though, of course, another Panther Force works out. Sandbags on the west by Hans. Very good. Rangers spotted. Should give here, I think, Deathcore good idea that. Well, actually doesn't, because Deathcore also has urban assault, so just going by the Rangers actually doesn't necessarily tell Deathcore too much. I mean, the safe assumption would be heavy cavalry, since, you know, most players don't go urban assault this late into the game, but it's still not impossible. Though then again, if he doesn't see like any armored, you know, bulldozer blades on the Sherman soon enough, he can more safely assume, you know, it's not heavy urban assault, because most players that go for it will definitely upgrade with it because it's just great. Still, it is a bit of worth noting there in that sense that Rangers themselves at this point don't necessarily tell the entire story as to what doctrine has been chosen, but looking at the other elements, it would be safe to assume that Hans has gone for heavy cavalry. But again, depending on the timing, you know, if say Hans had gone for, you know, Rangers much sooner, there might have been a bit more room for doubt in theory. Anyways, Panther falling back in the face of the Sherman. Bazooka's around here from the building, quickly pushing back the Panther for some heavy damage there. Deathcore can go for another Panther now. Need to put the Panther to safety before the bazooka team in the building completely knocks it out, which would be, of course, quite expensive there for Deathcore. Bazooka team popping out in the open. Panther misses though. Pack 4's moving in there. Armored car pioneer advancing back, it's reinforcing. Is he planning tier 4? No, in which case he definitely should go for another Panther 4. Or at least some other armor from the Suprema Corps. Up north, he can lead squad. They're going for the point here, close to Hans's base, cutting off what they'll lose resources got in east. But there you go, Gunnies being overwhelmed with the Lieutenant and the Rangers. A storm of firepower there, which the Gunnies I don't think have much of a chance to like defend against. Another Panther 4 finally on the way for Deathcore for Deutschland, Das Vaterland. Gunnies are routed as well. Taking out the Panzerkampfwagen 4. At this point, it would be also a really good idea for Deathcore to consider another Pioneer squad to assist with repairs, so they can actually speed up, rather than just having one Pioneer squad to fix with a Panther 4 and potential more tanks. Like, having 2 Pioneer squads would easily just make the process a lot faster. So 2 Pioneers for now, maybe down the road 3 Pioneers. As for Hans, I think he might actually be trying for a Pershing sword right now with just the pair of bazookas and the Sherman and the Scott. Bit on the risky end. Bit on the risky end there by Hans. With backfires, he could be in a bit of a sore spot. But at the same time, considering the lead he has, and the fact he does have some armor and some 8 bazooka team, you know, it's not impossible to make it work, but I'd certainly not recommend the average player in the same situation go for it. Panther on the west side, Ralph pushing back, gunners moving westwards. Ralph thinking about the lieutenant going for the fuel point again. Panther could deal with it, no pin him up machine gun. Pack ball is moving up. And we got the Panther running back from the west side, some aggressive maneuvering here, going for cold on the fuel at the same time. Shots fired, machine gun opening up here, joining on the front up against the Rifle squad. We got 245 to 321. Note the way he's using the building to protect himself from like other anti-tank weapons armor there. Easily also make it hard for the bazooka team to get close as well. There you go, great hit on the reaction team, almost taking out the entire unit. To get the reaction team wiped out, that'd be pretty great there for Deathcore, but no. Lady Fortuna is with Hans there. As the last man does survive. Close one. Then we got another fragmentation bomb here, I think around the center. Obvious target, support ones in the building. Can Hans get out in time there? Mortar could also be caught in. Oh! Mortar team and machine gun team, plus the shed and the restaurant, all leveled. If Deathcore were to grab these, that would certainly be, I think, a nice boost there to Deathcore's firepower here versus HelpingHans. A punishing blow there. Could leave HelpingHans reeling a bit. And he's pushing the Panther straight into the base. I think he's careful not to get too aggressive here. But he could take out the ambulance at least. No, he doesn't. Missed opportunity, I think, there by Deathcore. Pack folding up armor car as well here. Could actually turn the table on HelpingHans, perhaps. And the Sherman is down, a stinging blow. Panther narrowly escapes here. Need to fall back though, but now Pershing is going to have to rely on the Pershing here versus Deathcore. And depending how well Deathcore is prepared for that, they could end up not so well there for Hans. Mortar still grabbed. The Panther does get knocked out. That does leave a bit more room here for HelpingHans. You may want to, of course, consider some more armor soon. This should be a great addition there as the Pershing. Now he's destroying it entirely. He doesn't want it. Well, that also works. I'll wait. Quite a harsh and stinging blow there to Hans. Lost all of his remaining support weapons and his Sherman. He might even lose the ambulance here. Deathcore's really just looking to kick Hans while he's down, which is typically good standard operating tactical procedure on the battlefield. Graham Eastern Point there. Looks like it's just going to keep going for more Panther 4s. First one there, close to it, only 2, adding some shots in there, of course, once it gets there. Good addition right now, I think, to consider for Deathcore will be laying down some mines here and there to slow down any counterattack by Hans. Need to get the Gunners Club to increase the chance of wiping the Major. We got 228 to 274. And there we go, another Panzer Kampfwagen here while Hans is getting ammo close to the Pershing. His last great hope versus the Krauts. Got a Ranger Bazooka team out though. That also is definitely one way to like try and buy time here for the Pershing. Certainly can have some serious punch there with triple bazookas that probably do more damage while they're wielded by Ranger. Means they can do some serious damage like medium armor. And certainly, you know, give him room to get out that Pershing and certainly support the Pershing as well quite well. Panther 4, they're already taking intense damage from the Rangers, need to be careful. You may actually want to consider some Panther gun against a Stormtrooper, something that like higher rate of fire, they need to like shoot down the infantry faster than the Grenadiers. Now we need to remember to use Assault and Hold, which is honestly again an impressively powerful ability. Just want some many Wehrmacht out players when they go for the damn doctrine never use. Rangers start bazooka, but they do manage to get back with it. Panther 4 there with 12 kills, 22. Another Panther 4 ready for the Panzer Land. We got more Pioneers finally on the way for Deathcore. These are the guns routed. Scott, they're firing away, looking to get a wipe here. Might get it with the Lieutenant moving up there, or the Rifle Squads. That's going to be painful there for Deathcore. I'd be surprised if we didn't lose the unit, and there you go, Grenadiers kaput. Back reinforcement hitting for HelpingHans. His Rangers, of course, in really bad need of some fresh replacements. 2-2 good to go with 7 kills. Panther moving enough going to flank the Rifle Squad, and the chemical machine gun, thumbs up. Hans, it's going to take some time to get the Pershing because right now Death control most of the map, meaning Hans is barely getting any fuel. So right before the Pershing, just the fuel flow completely dried up almost. Pinman machine almost down there for the second Panzer Kampfwagen 4. Back here, troops healing, reinforcing, preparing for the next big battle. against the armies. It's the gangsters. And there we go, armor car taking hits, Panther moving up, shoots, misses. Begin to crush the cover. Get moving for you to shoot at them as well. There you go, Reason's routed. Great hit there, but we've got the Bazooka Rangers, got the Scott here. Scott obviously not going to matter, but the Bazooka Rangers are obviously going to matter. And there you go, almost taking the Panther 4 down to half health there with a single volley. And of course, they have a great rate of fire thanks to the Bazooka. So, I mean, they're effectively Panther 6, they're just much better with bazookas on ranges. Panther 4 narrowly survives that one. That was lucky there for Deathcore. I'm sure the Panzer Group's going to need some fresh underwear after that one. Rangers led by using smoke to grab the center victory point. Deathcore Panthers not realizing that. Panther on the west side pushing out the right squad. Almost getting wiped here. Pershing though has finally arrived in. The Grenadiers getting caught there in the lineup of the Pershing. Not great then to inspect up with the Scott. It can do incredible harm here to Deathcore's infantry. And his armored forces are not in a condition to really stop the Pershing. He can most buy some time. We got the Pack 40 moving up. Shot fired. Pershing taking some light damage from the Pack 40 and the Panzer 4, but nothing really crucial here for now. Still, Deathcore's maintaining control of the map, and he really should consider some tunnel mines here and there, maybe some air mines, just something to make it harder for him to push ahead with, because if he can catch the Pershing on a tunnel mine, that could be a GG moment there. Also, another machine gun for Deathcore to help deal with the Bazooka Rangers could be an idea, or otherwise, Panzer Grenadiers, Stormtroopers, just something that can like quickly put a lid on the Rangers' anti-tank capabilities by, you know, killing them. Panther being fixed, very good there. Might want to put it slightly further away from the front, not at least like any major road, so it doesn't like, you know, get spotted by, say, a quick raid and destroyed. I think that'd be quite painful there for Deathcore. Going straight for the victory point to slow down the bleeding. He's down just 105 here versus Deathcore now. Another Panther 4 for Deathcore keeps up pressure versus both infantry armor, though. I think an Osman might be able to choose, like, in theory, you could argue he's got the Persian lock up down. Actually, the bigger issue is actually, I think, those bazooka ranges. So having an Osman that can provide more anti-infantry firepower might just be the unless, of course, remembers to use assault and hold as an infantry and just murders them. Here would also be a great time to use assault and hold again. I really have to stress assault and hold is a very good ability. But again, most players never use it. Panther 4 for the Persian east side, need to quickly blitz out of that one, get the Pack 40 assistance. He's not blitzing, and we got the bazooka teaming up there from under Ranger, oh, not Ranger, Rearson command. There you go. Popping Blitzkrieg, but ooh, that was close. Oh, he doesn't move. He's forgot about it. He's trying to handle another thing. Forgot about the Panther 4. And he gets abandoned. A stinging blow there to Deathcore. He's got another Panther 4 out. He might get the Persian, but he comes at high cost here to him. And no supporting infantry again to deal with the re-echelons of the bazookas. Other Panther 4 moving up, need to deal with the re-echelons. Adding a pin like machine gun, great. Got the Rangers with bazookas moving up there. Panther 4 under fire here. Destroying the abandoned Panther 4 there. Rears are being crushed beneath the Panther 4. Why shoot them when you can drive over them? We got 211 versus 94. And the Rangers go straight here for the MG42. Got the armor coming with Pioneer support. But I think that machine needs to retreat though. As the Rangers, even just most bazookas are still causing heavy damage to the machine crew. In fact, almost taken out there. Is stinging blow there to Deathcore. We got the Gunners finally moving on. Definitely, I think now he should pop Texas. Yeah, there we go. He pops assault and hold finally. But he needs to keep moving here. Might have a chance to wrap the range. Again, can get rid of the Rangers. That'd be huge here for him. But no, he fails to move in the time to keep the armor calm pace. Missed opportunity, I think, they are the larger order for him. But still, he remembers the ability exists. That's something. Most of our players, you know, even with being so keen users of German infantry, never use it. It's such a painful sight. That's it. He could be using that a lot more, and should be using it a lot more. It's, again, I really cannot stress, it's a big part of the doctrine. And if you're just using the doctrine for like veteran scholars and the fragmentation bombs, I definitely say you're failing to make full use of the doctrine by far. Good hit on the Scott by the Panther 4, using these some victory point back. We still have got the armor card doing some light work there, 8 kills. He's getting plans for something bigger there, 9. He needs to grab that machine gun, by the way. I think he's already forgotten about it, but right now I think the plan should be maybe bring up an Ostwind here to help deal with the infantry. Again, put pressure on the Rangers in particular. Okay, now he's going for tier 4. Timing for that, not super sold on that. Nice use of smoke here to cut the advance. In fact, thumbs up there. Probably expecting them to be into tanks and whatnot here, or the machine gun for example. Though again, better knows how the Deathcore's yet to recruit the machine gun. Makes it even easier for Hans to push ahead. In fact, he might even steal the machine gun under Deathcore's nose, and in fact, that's exactly what Hans is doing. The absolute cheat, but certainly well deserved here. That was definitely a mistake. But in this case, they can still clear up the machine gun and deny it to Hans, but it may actually not happen. And that certainly punished Deathcore there, I think, for a bit of a mistake there. And that's exactly what happens. Pershing down to half health. Gunny taking hits from the Scott. Things seems like they're slightly slipping out of the hands here of Deathcore at the moment. Like mistakes seem to be slowly cropping up now here. Perhaps the match is going as long as it's ready for. Just the pressure from Hans's aggressive and tactically well-defined attacks are really just stressing out Deathcore. It's hard to say here. Heavy damage there. So now he has no machine guns, whereas Hans now has one machine gun again. Troops reinforcing healing. Guess he's going to build a heavy Panzer core. We'll have to see if it goes for a Storm Panzer maybe, or a Panther. Either way, I mean, Storm Panzer would be great with the infantry and might just, be the thing to, like, end the Rangers with the bazookas. Since they're in particular big issue for me, might just go for the Panther to deal with armor. Graham needs some point here. He still really should add some assault troops like either the Stormtroopers or the Panzer Grenadiers. They in particular benefit from assault and hold. Since again they have high rate of fire weapons, and generally the higher rate of fire weapon is, the more it benefits from the stuff that gives them accuracy bonuses. So for example again, great on the Veteran Grenadiers, no doubt, but even better on Stormtroopers and Panzer Grenadiers. And if you then pop Tactical Advance on the Stormtroopers while having assault mode active, like you can do some crazy damage with that. I mean, I wiped a unit while retreating at point blank range with that. Like full health, popped it, and they couldn't even retreat before they were dead. Well, they didn't retreat before they... You get the idea. Panther 4 there. 10 kills, veterans to 1. Need to fix up the Panther 4 course rapidly. Hans really taking advantage of the changing and just punishing Deathcore for his mistakes here. Panther up the centre. 10 kills, veterans 1 opening up. They're doing some light damage up north here. Pershing Scott moving up there to deal with the Grenadier. Definitely a problem there for Deathcore's troops. Then he's in the west with the Lieutenant. And wiped. Penfield going westwards here, backed up as the Grenadier.
A capture point is under attack. Enemy forces are now down to 200 points. Crews ready.
More Grenadiers for Deathcore. Still no Stormtroopers or Panzer Grenadier. Got the Bazooka Rangers. Thankfully not shooting any Deathcore's tanks. I'm sure he's feeling. The Panther taking it from the Pershing. Bazooka Rangers can actually flank up here and actually make it hard for the Panther to get out safely. Pershing running up as well. There's a good team keeps advancing. Grenadier squad ready, adding the veterans Grenadiers to that one. Two being fixed up, he needs to get his fuel point back. Oh, he's not going to be able to get anything that's relevant out of the heavy pan score here versus HelpingHans. And I'm sure HelpingHans wants to keep it like that. Grenadiers setting out here. Ranger bazooka team moving up with their triple bazookas. Fix up the Panzer 4. There's the Rangers.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points. Listen up! Incoming fire!
The explosions there. And this was the Pershing in the east. Obviously a very lopsided fight here. Almost got the field when reconnecting mode. Got just bazookas flying on place. In fact, he's brought in even more bazooka teams. I think almost punishing Deathcore for just again lacking Panzer Grenadiers or Stormtroopers that just cut them down rapidly to be backed up with tactical advance. Pershing up here quickly opening the Pack 40s, ranking moving to clear out the Pack 40s again. Just highlighting again the utility of assault infantry, and they can quickly clear out these kind of targets fast. Panther moving up here, Rangers routed, but he's lost one of the Pack 40s. Rangers is routed in the centre by the MD-42 there. Jackson for HelpingHans. he's probably figuring that he's not seen anything but those two Panther Force for some time, so he's probably starting to think he might get hit by a Persian, or not Persian, but a Panther or something like that. So he's probably in the Jackson to have to deal with that. Because I think he'd just go for more Sherman, since I don't think he's feeling like particularly threatened currently by the two Panther Force as such. I imagine it is sort of a response like expecting something heavier than the two Panther Force. Otherwise, I don't think he would have gone, say, for like another bazooka team. He wasn't like, you know, worried about something heavier than, you know, a Panzer IV. You know, bad kid, still going to take some time for him to get out anything like, you know, heavier. But still, he's managed to push back slowly here versus HelpingHans. The question would be in time here versus HelpingHans. We've got 110 versus 51, 107 versus 51. Pack destroyed here. About to lose a Panther IV. He needs to get that Panther out there. Schnell. Ooh, that was close. Oh, he still loses it. Hans gets a good attack around there. Takes out the Panther IV, leaving Deathcore now with just one Panther IV. The situation here for the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision is getting ever grim. Also, at this point, it's also worth noting the only thing Hans hasn't used is combined arms at this point. Like, if he were to use that, he had to get full doctrinal bingo versus Deathcore. Pershing there, half fate to veteran 3. Meanwhile, Deathcore's used, well, 3 abilities compared to Hans's 4. Got Pioneers with the Major, Panther with Ego, Jackson opening up on the armoured car. Big overkill. Deathcore close to the Panther now. Close to the Panther. Got 80 versus 48. Back to bleeding out Hans here, and certainly increasingly might feel like Deathcore's best shot at doing that. He could still feel like calling some Stormtroopers just harass, run around and be a nuisance for HelpingHans. Alright, the Martin suddenly ambushes opponent's infantry. AD versus 36. Looking close here. Honestly, it's still hard to say who could win this because while force-wise, Hans is clearly beating Deathcore silly. Victory points-wise, there's still I think an opportunity for Deathcore to particularly to use, you know, Stormtrooper tactical advantage. I think at the right time, just quickly seize the points and bleed him out while fanatically holding them. I think that could still be an option here for Deathcore if he pulls it off correct. But the question is, can he do that? Because the Mason B at this point, he's simply so heavily stressed out that it's not quite coming across him as an actual possibility. But he can actually go for the Panther incredibly soon. It's actually a possibility, maybe in fact, Ozzy's tunnel vision on the Panther now. Fragmentation bomb called in, that's definitely not the assault and hold here, which is not going to grab points, not going to take out the Pershing. Might get the Ralph squad in retreat, yes indeed. A small win there for Deathcore and Deutschland in these league times, but not something that's going to like single-handedly pull them out of the rank either. Another pack forward there for Deathcore. Canson go for the Panther. Pershing there with 13 kills, ever close to veteran 3. Return going for the Eastern Fuel Point, Panther going eastwards, 19 kills. And he can't. I'm surprised he didn't go for Panther 40 when he could just go for the Panther soon after. Seems a bit weird. In fact, it delays the Panther by a bit. Pack 40 ready. If we get off a target weak point. Oh, never mind. Veteran 3 though, that's a small win here, but it's just the Pack 40 down, so not going to be enough since the Pershing just cleared up. Panther moving up. Can they deal any about sporting? Can't go for the Panther now. We got 50 points left versus 31. It's still very much on a razor's edge here between Deathcore and HelpingHans. Going for the last one here. Going for the Eastern Point. Not enough initiative for assault and hold. Also, again, that'd be the recommended ability here. Using smoke to just help buy time against the Pioneers there. Clear by HelpingHans. Panther on the way for Deathcore. Got the Eastern Point here. We got 44 versus 31. Smoke being deployed. This cup infantry going to grab the point. He's contested it against Deathcore. But also think, this is probably why attack ground is actually forcing an opponent to move into the point. So he can actually get shot at by the Persian. There's some real serious thought there. West side here, Pioneers almost got the point and now grabbed. He can go for assault and hold now, and definitely should go for assault and hold. Press it, Deathcore. Press it. Press the button. Missed opportunity. 44 versus 29. He managed to enter the point neutral and at least before the range gap, which would speed up the bleeding here on Hans. And there you go, wipes the Pioneers. Panther almost done here. Grenadiers advancing in 74 too far on the Persian. Got 17 kills. Almost a bar drop with the Grenadiers. Holding up the Eastern Point. Lieutenant charging forward here. Get time here to pop the assault and hold down. Would also be great. Can also help the use defensively there. But no, I don't think it's going to pop it already by the looks of it. Panther warming up support. Jackson, Scott, Pershing all moving east to deal with Deathcore's right flank. Panther has arrived. Panther forward down to a sliver of help already. Narrowly about a shot there from the Jackson. Gunnery's moving up the cut. Panther faster. Gunnery's about to get wiped out here. Panther forward's about to get knocked out here. It's about to go kaput. Bazooka Rangers moving up. Packs moving in. Gunnery is being obliterated. Deathcore is hemorrhaging troops at this point. Almost got the Pershing here, but his Panther's taking incredible damage. It's already down to half health. They got combined. Hans says bingo. He gets the Panther. It only gets abandoned and the Panther is destroyed. 44 versus 14. Still theoretically, Deathcore could still win this. In fact, had he used assault and hold there, he might have already won this by now, technically, on victory points. But there we go. All the way, though. A fierce fight here still continuing on, but Deathcore's chances are increasingly looking ever and ever bleak. Narrowly being wiped out there by Hans. Might just be GG now, though. Might just be GG. Like, maybe Deathcore pulls off something incredibly brilliant here now. Maybe it gets possessed by the ghost of Rommel. But, yeah. I think Hans may have won this. Narrowly, but he has won this. Talk about a fight. 19 versus 14. Deathcore still thinks he's in this. He'll still try and call some stormtroopers and pop an assault and hold. The Ultra Wombo combo for quick, sudden, surprising the opponent. But no, going for Grenadiers. He really should go for stormtroopers as well. Getting a look unit of field by the Wehrmacht. Anyway, 7 points, 4 points, 1 point. And there you go, Pershing being fixed up. At least he doesn't get to see the Pershing isn't destroyed. That'd just be like, break his poor little heart. But anyways, there you go. GG, game over. A spectacular and wondrous fight here of skill and, you know, playmanship here on Arnhem Checkpoint. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gives you into matches. And, you know, remember, if you've played German Infantry, try and use Assault and Hold. And don't forget the Stormtroopers either. I think they've done a lot more for Deathcore. Use the ability a bit more than just, you know, once. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. And see you all another time for another video. Bye.